No? Okay. Council members?
I attend the Alameda County Fire Department
Well,
Fire
we're gonna-
Commission meeting.
Okay, we're going to do 10.2.1
I'm
first.
sorry.
That's okay, Kurt. Discussion of city manager performance review process.
Just doing a hell of a good job.
There you have it. All done. We can move on and strike that. Okay. So what do we want to do? Do we want an outside contractor? Do we want to develop another evaluation tool? Do we want to go forward with what we've done before?
I have to say, I for one don't want an outside contractor. The
Okay.
people elected us to hire a city manager and to direct the city manager, and I think everybody that sits on this dais has the ability to do that and to do it well.
Okay.
And I think the process that we use could use a little fine tuning, but I don't think we need an outside consultant to come in.
Okay.
So that's my feeling.
Anyone
on it.
else want to weigh in on that?
I agree. I think the simpler the better on this one. I think the process that we did in the past, I think there was, they got a little petty. And I would like to have this more of a planning, going forward type of review and giving some detail as far as what we'd like to see happen in the city, not per se getting down to the minutia of doing how she does her job, but setting goals for her and then checking in on how she performs those goals.
Well, Jack, clearly,
I agree with that, Kurt.
you know,
Yeah, minutia before.
we set out as a council what our expectations are, what we're looking for the year, and the budget is part of that process. Certainly you have an ability quantitatively to say, these things happened, and they were done well, and these things perhaps not so well, and we have a problem here. There's nobody up here that can't make those decisions and put them forward.
Can I suggest maybe that we, in light of what Kurt was saying, get the evaluation that we had last time, and then if we want to add any additional
Oh, sure,
pieces on
sure.
that,
Or
let's go ahead and
rearrange
do that?
We'll use that tool as a
Okay, so we'll use that
basis.
as the template that we're going to start with. Okay, great. Do you have enough direction on that? Yep. Yeah, okay. Now, Kurt, council members
I'm
reporting on
excited
tonight's
to
agenda.
report on this. I attended the Alameda County Fire Commission meeting, and the response from our fire department is very good. They're right at 90% within 5-minute response for the ambulance crews. Their budgets they're a little bit under budget, and it doesn't look like they're going to be asking for any big increases next year in their costing to us. So I think I'm very, very pleased with what I'm seeing from Alameda County Fire Department.
Okay, anyone else?
I just want to comment on activities of the Alameda County Transportation Commission. I represent the city on that body. And there's a big study and effort underfoot around goods movement throughout the county, and there's an ad hoc committee which I'm sitting on, the first meeting of which is Thursday, to talk about a plan and a strategy about approaching goods movement. And I just want to highlight our particular location is crucial because the port has big plans to move a lot more stuff on what's called the Martinez subdivision, which are the rail lines that go through our town up the whole I-80 corridor. And last I heard, there were 70 trains that were both passenger and freight that come through here in a 24-hour period. I don't recall the breakdown of how many of those were passenger trains and how many were freight, but they're hoping to about triple that number. So we're going to be right in the throes of a lot of expansion. So anyway, that's why I got on the ad hoc committee here.
And you're going to be working with the quiet zones with the railroad.
Yeah.
And we should call maybe safety zones too, because
Right, there are alternative safety measures
Correct.
for at-grade railroad crossings. And it seems to me that when we when it's not feasible to do grade separations for safety, that installing quiet zones is the least that they could do as a mitigation measure for the huge increase of rail traffic that's anticipated. But the other thing is, like here in the Park Avenue district, we have no truck parking signs up at different locations. I've seen them on Hollis and San Pablo, and we're not really taking care of the trucking industry very well at the moment. So part of the goods movement is definitely about truck traffic, truck stops, and all the things to help facilitate goods movement.
Okay, on Wednesday, I went to Sacramento with Sabrina and Townsend and Associates. We made a few different visits to Steinberg's office, Lonnie Hancock's, Nancy Skinner's. We also went over to Caltrans. Everyone was in a bit of a frenzy because the May Revise had just come out. We discussed with several people the need for affordable housing and the need for funds to be made available and a predictable revenue stream available. And there was some discussion about cap and trade money, but it also seems like it's something that is a good ways off. I also, earlier last week, went to the Ambassador grand opening. Bob mentioned it, and it's 100% occupied. I think as soon as we build affordable housing units, they'll be 100% occupied. And it's great to see that Emeryville is doing the right thing, and I really hope that the state finds a way to help us do more of this work. After the meeting in Sacramento, I also attended the school board meeting where Dr. John Rubio was appointed, and later that evening the school board also appointed a new interim school board member, Dr. Christian Potts, and hopefully we'll be meeting all of them at the next city schools meeting. And with that, I'd say the meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
Very good.